Hello guys and welcome back to Barum Engines. I know I said a couple of videos ago that the bike was sold, but as you can see it's still here. So what has happened, guys, the guy came round Friday, wanted to buy the bike. Apparently he wanted it for Sunday, something to do with a ride out. I thought it was MOT'd. It wasn't MOT'd, it was just serviced when I bought it. So I took it straight round to Islands Motorcycles and he failed it on an MOT due to the front wheel bearings being a bit knackered. So he said, look, I'll get the bearings in as quick as I can and get it done. So thank you very much, Tom, for doing that so quickly. But unfortunately, the guy couldn't wait. I did message him back today when Tom dropped the bike round and he put a deposit on another bike. So here it is. In a way, I'm sort of not sorry that it's still sitting here because I quite like looking at it. It's become part of the furniture. But if any of you guys want an absolute bargain and a beautiful super bike, come and help yourself. Just hand over that money. Just a little progress report before we go anywhere else today. The Golf sitting here from last video. Still no news on that. We're still waiting for an estimate from Tim over at Clover Cars on his work, and then we can give the owner a better idea on what this is going to cost. But fingers crossed he goes ahead with it. I think the car, in the condition it is and the mileage, it's well worth doing something with this, especially as the price will include an engine from Volkswagen. So yeah, let's see what happens with this one, guys. But hopefully in the next day or so we're going to get that price so we can give the customer the, I suppose, bad news. But yeah, wait and see. So cracking right on with the Cosworth. I've got the liners in now, as you can see down there, and I've just started boring my second bore. Going to get those other two done and get that faced and honed tomorrow. Oh, I don't know whether I told you before, but this has got the 6 long studs in the center of this block, but they are using the old style stud. So this is the old style stud. As you can see, it's got a 17mm collar machined into the stud, which holds an O-ring that sits in that recess in the block. The only problem is with this design, as I've said to you before, it's just not long enough. And on the 2 outer 6 studs on the opposite side to the oil gallery, so that will be the exhaust side, this thread down the bottom here goes into a lug. And as you can see, these have been in there already, and you see the black bit on the bottom of the thread, the bottom half of the thread, that is the only bit that sits into that lug in the block. And we run the risk there of it just breaking the lug out the bottom of the block. So we're going to do away with these. I've ordered some of our studs from Julian Godfrey, so the ARP ones, which are basically similar to this, but a bit longer without that recess, and we use the blue O-ring. So the idea of that is we can put them at the depth we want. They're slightly longer anyway, and then we just put the blue O-ring down. That sits in the recess, and yeah, we can basically vary the length we want to run on them. So that's the only thing I'm going to do. The only thing we have to do for that is we've got to basically go down another 5mm deep and run the drill and the tap down. Saves wrecking a valuable 200 block now. So that's the only thing we've got to do on there. And he wants it a nice blue colour because this engine is going in something very interesting. It's actually going in an RS200 replica. Now I've seen photos of this car and it looks just like a genuine one. So he wants that colour, that block, the same colour as what would be, I suppose, the BDT, is it, that went in the RS200? So we're going to find out the colour code for that and get that block painted for him. Back quickly on the subject of the van, the company van that we're thinking of purchasing. Been in touch with the dealer today, and I'm really excited to show you this van and read some of the comments on once you've seen what our choice is. But we are pretty much going to purchase this van. Been on to my accountant today again just to verify a few figures and what have you. And to be honest, it's a really, really good opportunity at the moment. As I said to you in the last video, until next March, it's a great opportunity to purchase a new van through the business. So yeah, really excited to show you this van. As I say, been on to the dealer today, just got a few things to sort out. And then hopefully in the next video, may be able to show you what it is, but you have to wait and see. Cliffhanger. Right guys, here we have a brand new cylinder head. It's off a Toyota Hiace. So, as some of you may know, with this Japanese diesel stuff, we went through a period actually when we were doing quite a lot of cylinder heads with this sort of thing. For some reason, Japanese stuff, absolutely brilliant. Petrol, you can't go wrong with it. But they did go for a stage of, especially the big 4-pot diesels like this, they went for a stage of, well, we went for a stage of having quite a lot of cylinder heads that had cracked. They seemed to crack in the ports and also on the face, where the sort of in between the valve seats. Sometimes you'd have a pre-combustion chamber inside the head, and that they would have cracks in there. Yeah, cracking for a pastime. And this is one of the sort of renowned ones. So basically, a customer has sent this in. He's bought a new head himself off the internet. It is a sort of reputable make of cylinder head. There's a lot of Chinese copies out there which are absolutely pants, if I'm honest. He's bought this, he's put all the old valves back in it, but he's run into clearance issues. And when I say clearance issues, I mean bucket clearance issues. So with the old head, the valve clearances will be right, but when you put the valves in with the new head, depending where they cut the seats, they can be a country mile out. And sure enough, this is a mile out. So he's had to send it in, and now John's going through the buckets here to see what clearances we've got and what we need. So as you can see, he's wrote over here, we've got be 10 on the inlet, 17 on the exhaust, which, yeah, quite a lot different, but that tends to be how they are on this type of head. So he's running through these to see what we've got. Obviously it's a shim type. You know, I said to you the other day about when I was going through the clearances, this is a top shim type. So these are the big sort of discs that sit inside the solid bucket there. And on the bottom, you've just got a little pip in the base. So he's running through this, see what we got. As you can see here, like exhaust meant to be 17. He's got 12, 14, 14, 15. So 15 you could probably get away with, because usually you're allowed 2 thou either way. But while we're here, we may as well get them right. Inlet, miles out, look, you're meant to have 10, you got 17, 16, 16, 16. So the inlets are massive. And basically what that tells you is, because they're all big, with the old head, providing it was a standard head, these seats are cut sort of not as deep as the old ones. So it just makes the valves sit a little bit closer to the piston, thus making the gap bigger for the valve clearances. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to, rather than go and buy new shims for this, we're going to take the valves out, we're probably going to cut the seats back, and just bring the valves back, and then we'll close the shims up slightly, and then we can just grind the shims, and basically it'll be like the old head then. Right guys, so today Paul and I are cracking on with this Cosworth. We want to get this done by next week really. All the bits are here bar the crank bearings. I've got Paul today doing his favourite job, putting valve guides in the Cosworth. He absolutely loves doing that. It's a bit of a risk take of getting the old ones out and the new ones in really, but he loves it. And also he loves a bit of soda blasting. But yeah, so we're cracking right on with this. I've got the block here on the mill, and basically, as you can see, we've got the liners in now. I haven't finished hone them, but I've faced the block, give it a very minimum lick. It took about 5 thou to clean that actually. And now I'm just about to do the modification to put the new studs in, because as I said to you before, this has got the old style studs in, so we just want to drill and tap a little bit deeper into these. So that's what I'm doing now. Then I'm going to hone them. I've got 4 barrels here I'm doing for RKTV, so once I've done them, get this one honed and I can get it on the stand and get it all thoroughly cleaned. Well, guys, I cannot contain myself anymore. I'm not going to leave you on a cliffhanger. Things have slightly changed this morning. So we have actually done a deal on a van. So I'm going to tell you what it is. This is the van we're going for. You can see exactly why we bought this. I actually went in originally to have a test drive in a custom sport, just to sort of see what they're like, because I've never really driven a Transit. I was quite sort of impressed when I seen one on the size of it. I did see an MS RT at the Lim Valley car show that we went to the other week. And yeah, they had a sort of fluorescent yellow one there, and I was really impressed by the spec of it. I'll be honest with you, John and I we've always wondered in the last sort of 5 years why people go out and buy vans that have body kits and what have you and a bit souped up. We just could never understand it really. At the end of the day, it's a van. But when you actually see one of these in the flesh and you see the sort of standard of the spec, the seats, the steering wheel, and to drive, it's fantastic. It's really nice to drive. You're up high, the power's great. You've got the 3 seats in the back, you've got 3 in the front, you've got the good loading space at the back for us to stick engines in and what have you. So, and obviously, as you can see, there's the colour. It matches our kit car, matches the Lambo, so why wouldn't I do it? As soon as I pulled up there and I seen that one on the forecourt, I've got to have it, and you've got to be honest, got to have it. So yeah, just want to thank John Burnell at Tor Garages in Barnstaple. Yeah, fantastic salesman, really laid back, not pressured me into anything, just let me sort of get on with it, handed me keys, let me look around and what have you. So yeah, thanks a lot to him. So yeah guys, the MSRT is coming. We're just waiting for a tow bar that's coming from MSRT to Tor, and they're going to fit that for us. Not a lot of good if we can't tow our replica coloured kit car around, is it? But so yeah, let me know in the comments guys what you think. I'm sure there's going to be a few sort of, don't know whether I would have done that, but then what the hell. Yeah, absolutely love it and cannot wait to get it. As soon as we get it, we'll do a little rundown on it and take it for a little test drive and see what we think. But yeah, lovely, absolutely can't wait for it. Well, thanks a lot for watching guys. Stick with us on the next video where we show you what we're doing with this beautiful work of art. Absolutely stunning intake manifold for a Cosworth. I'm going to be showing you a little bit more into that and what we're going to be doing with it. But until next time, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in another video. Cheers guys.